Hello, I'm Bernie Hayes. Today's guest is Louis Cross III, and we'll be talking about teacher retirement today on The Bernie Hayes Show. And welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes. My guest is Louis Clinton Cross III. Dr. Cross, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Bernie, and you? It's good to see you again.
Always good to see you. Last time you were here, you were running for a position with the St. Louis Public School Retirement.
Yes, I
and
sure
so that has expired now, that tenure?
Yeah, that has expired, and it's open for reelection, and I'm of course running again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 4-year term, and so that was 4 years ago.
Wow, it's been that long.
It's been 4 years. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So what does that include? What do you do as? Is it?
Well, basically,
the president.
I'm chairman, right?
Chairman.
Chairman.
Okay.
And we represent 12,500 employees, retired and active.
Okay.
And there are 4,200 retirees, and there's a retiree component that you run for, and by me being retired and a former teacher, I run under that component. Then there's one for principals, and there's one for active teachers, and non-certificated, which would mean security officers and secretary clerical component. They can run under that component. They have several, so we have a total of 10 people on the board, on the retirement board. And
but you're a former principal, aren't you?
I was principal for charter school.
Yeah.
Yes, and then also interim superintendent of a charter school called Ethel Hedgeman Lyle, the AKA Charter School. After I retired, I did that for approximately 2 years.
Okay.
But basically, we try to. Well, no, we don't try. We handle all the money that comes in for retirement. Every time you get a check, a certain portion of your check goes to retirement. And we issue the retirement, when I say we, public school retirement system of the city of St. Louis, we issue the monies to the checking accounts for all of the people who have direct deposit, or if they want it mailed, or whatever the case may be. And also we collect. Now, what has happened, January of 18, the St. Louis Public School System was able to get some legislation passed to have a rule of 80, which meant that you could retire with age and years equal to 80. You didn't have to wait. It used to be 85. But the legislators tacked on an additional portion that said that St. Louis Public Schools, because the St. Louis Public Schools lobby to get this done, that starting in January of 18, the public schools would pay 0.5% less into retirement until they got down to 9% from 18%.
So this makes a retiree's check smaller, right?
No, it doesn't make the retiree's check smaller. It doesn't impact that, but it impacts the amount of money we have coming in for retirement going forward.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it would. Yeah,
you'll eventually run out of money.
You run out of money if we don't do something. And so we weren't able to get much traction under the prior administration, but we're hoping that Dr. Scarlett will take a look at it.
The Superintendent of Public Schools,
a wonderful young lady, and President Tony Cousins. And see if they'll take a look at it. What we want to do at this particular point in time, we have talked to our actuaries, and we feel that if they can cap it at 14 and not go all the way down to 9, then we'll be okay. Our actuaries
cap what at 14?
Cap the amount of money that the board pays. In other words, they've been subtracting 0.5% ever since January of 18.
Okay.
So that's 0.5%. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Wow. So that's how much that's 0.5% less. We used to get 29 million. So you subtract, 3% from that, and in 24 there'll be another 0.5% deducted.
Wow.
So, but we want to stop it at 14%, but the legislation said that the board could go down to 9. So we want to stop it at 14, and then everything will be fine. Our actuaries have stated that we'll be fine financially going forward. We want to be 80% funded. If we're 80% funded, right now we're 72 or 73% funded. Okay. That's the amount of money we have. The legislature requires that we can't even recommend a COLA for our retirees until we're at least 80% funded. Once we are 80%,
I don't know what COLA means.
Cost of living.
Oh, okay.
Cost of living. I'm sorry. Cost of living. So what we'll do is, if we can be 80% funded, then we can vote to have a COLA for the retirees, and then let the board know that we have voted for the COLA, and then the school board has the final say, and if they vote to give us the COLA, they will give us the money to the retirement system, and then we will disperse it to the retirees.
Okay. So is it a person, a teacher or an instructor or anybody qualified in the St. Louis Public Schools, their retirement comes through your office?
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's right.
So do they have a choice of not paying into retirement?
No.
Or it's automatic? So it's
automatic. There's
okay.
there's no other option.
Okay.
You pay in. We are separate from the state retirement system.
Sure. So this is St. Louis Public School.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And we're worth approximately $1.2 billion. Mm-hmm. And but a little less lately because of COVID and
Sure.
some of the financial things that have happened. But normally in past years we've been 1.2. I think we were about 980 million, which within another several months by the end of the year we should be
anyway.
We should be back up. But basically about 1.2 million. But it's critical, and we're going to have some discussions with Dr. Scarlett and President Cousins and see if we can get the ball rolling on capping it, capping that money that they give to us at 14%. Something else that happened with that legislation, new teachers coming in as of 18 went from, years ago everybody paid 5%
out of their salary to retirement.
Yeah, that's right, to retirement. Mm-hmm. But this new legislation said, well, new teachers will come in now as of January 18. They're going to pay 9%. So they automatically moved it up to 9. The existing staff was at 5, and they would pay 0.5% more every year until they got up to 9 from 5. Mm-hmm. So you pay in more now. And the board pays less, and so that's why we have to cap it, because you can see it's a drain.
Sure. Uh-huh. And then that comes out of their monthly or whatever, how they're paid every other week or monthly. Wow. Exactly. Well, what position do you carry as the CEO of the monies? Well, what do you oversee?
Well, as chair, I'm chairman of the retirement board. And as chair, I conduct the meetings, and I along with, we have 10 members, and I'm one of those 10, and everybody is assigned to a committee, and we have a committee for investments, and that's headed by Dr. Albert Sanders and Christina Bennett. Christina Bennett, in addition to the position on the board, she also is the assistant director of the St. Louis, the Treasurer's Office of the City of St. Louis. Okay. And so, and we have we have a contracts component, and some of the board members are with that, and so forth and so on. So basically my function is to open the meetings and give guidance to the board members and let them know, and I get that guidance from Susan Kane, who's the executive director.
Okay. Our guest is Louis Cross. He's the president of the St. Louis Retirement School System, the retirement funds that all you retired teachers, when your money comes, it comes through his office, and he's running for re-election.
That's right.
Okay, let's talk about that
okay.
after this break. And with the New Life Evangelist 624-28 Woodson Road. Back after this.
This is an opportunity that God has given all of us at this time to work together to reopen 1411 Locust, which is so urgently needed at this community. I thank God for Bernie Hayes and for his support and standing with us all these particular years. Now it's so critical that you and I do our part also, as Bernie's been partnering with us here at NLEC TV. We've continued to maintain faith, continue to move forward, and now we need some miracles, and that's why I'm asking all of you prayer warriors out there, all of you that are going to use that mustard seed of faith to remove the mountains. There's some mountains, rich and powerful people who move back in the neighborhood, and they don't want 1411 Locust to open. They'd rather leave the people out on the street to slowly die, starved, used, misused, worked over by drug dealers, alcohol, and everything else. We want this place to be a place of hope for those that have lost all hope, and we want to open the doors, and we can do it. As you prayer warriors go to God in earnest prayer, knocking on the doors of heaven. When he says, ask, it shall be given you, seek, and you shall find, knock, and it shall be opened unto you. Please continue to pray. Pray that God will just let the financial resources come in so we can make all of these repairs. He'll raise up the dedicated laborers for the harvest, that we will continue to see him do exceedingly abundantly beyond what we can even ask or think. Yes, this is a spiritual battle. The principality and powers are fighting from every direction. But greater is he's in us than he that's in the world. And that's why I'm asking all of you to join us in prayer. Believe God with us. Contact us at New Life Evangelistic Center if you believe that there's people God laid on your heart that we should see. Ask for myself, Larry Rice, or my grandson, Chris Aaron Rice, that we can go visit and share the dream with you, and call us at 314-421-3020. Please pray. Get involved now. We need the body of Christ to arise as we work together to reopen this building for the glory of God.
Welcome back. My guest is Louis Cross III, and Dr. Louis Cross, actually. And we're talking about the St. Louis City Public Schools retirement system, of which he heads. Dr. Cross, Bob Dimler was kind of confused when you said a combination of number 80 when you're able to retire. That means a combination of years that you worked and your age, or what?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. In
so
other words,
that reach 80.
Right. Years of service in St. Louis Public Schools.
Say 50 years of service and 30 years.
30 years. That would be 80, and then you could retire if you want to.
Sure.
Now, of course, you're not forced to. You can continue to work as long as you see fit. Okay. There's no cap on how old you can be and how you have to leave at a certain time. We don't have that in our retirement system.
Does that affect the amount of money that they get through retirement?
Well, right now, once you, with Rule of 80 and this current system where you're paying 0.5% more into retirement every year until you go from 5 to 9, it would probably behoove a lot of the folks to, once they get a Rule of 80, they could retire, and then they could go to the county system, work another 5 years, and get a second pension.
Got a second pension.
And then
2 retirements.
Yeah, they could get 2 retirements.
Okay, because the county is separate from the city.
County system is separate from the city, and that is what a lot. And the reason I'm saying that's what a lot of our folks do. They go to the county, and county is clamoring to get seasoned veterans from St. Louis Public Schools in all capacities: security, principals, teachers, psych examiners, all of those things. Special school district gobbles up our people because we are so seasoned and schooled and professional at what we do.
And they pay more.
And they pay more.
I think that's very important. We should say that.
They pay more, and that's a very important point, Bernie, and I'm glad you brought that up.
Let me ask you this. How can one vote, and when do they vote, and how can they vote, and why should they vote?
Well, I'll answer the last one first. They should vote because that lets you have a voice in who guides your retirement system, whether I be chairman or not. We vote.
Well, they should vote for you. Let's put it like that.
Oh yeah, well yeah, because I have done along with the staff at the public school retirement system and Susan Kane and all of her staff and our board members. We all work collectively on this. It's not a one-man job, but during my tenure, we have Medicare Advantage for retirees that receive Medicare, and it's free for the first time. You used to pay $600-700 a month or less for those benefits, and now you get it free.
That's wonderful.
And just a lot. We have prepaid legal that's available at a minimal cost.
Wow.
We have the protection against being hacked by these folks on, with your accounts, scammers and stuff, and that's at a lower cost through Allstate. We have a lot of things that have happened under my watch, and so I want to continue with that, and I ask for everybody's support on that. I think we have about 3 other folks running for the position, but I am running, and I'm not going to.
How can they vote? When do they vote? Where do they vote?
Let's see.
How do they vote?
The ballots go out on the 14th of August.
Okay.
And they count them on, I think, September 6th.
Okay.
And in that interim, but it all comes through the mail. It's not done by computer or anything. They mail out the ballots, and you get a chance. It explains that the people that are running, and you can pick one of those people, mark that spot, send it in, and then they will count, and whoever gets the most votes wins.
Okay, so the people who will receive these ballots are people who are actually active teachers now?
No, retirees only.
Only retired.
Only the 4,200.
Okay, so the retirees can vote for whomever they want.
Right. Now the people who are active, they vote. That's a separate election for those other seats.
Okay.
There are 10 board members, and I was talking about that earlier.
Sure.
It's a very unique system. 4 of the board members are appointed by the St. Louis public school system.
Okay.
Not by vote. That's in the charter. Then the other 6 are happen because, like me, I'm a retiree, so I run for the retiree spot. Then we have someone that's a teacher, a principal, paraprofessional, secretary clerical, and paraprofessional for like the warehouse and shops and things of that nature. And so that's how that goes. So that's how, and then together, collectively, we make the rules and regulations that govern retirement, and we fight for the rights of the retirees. And that's why I said I asked for your vote, because I've done an excellent job, I think, and I've gotten reviews from the public school retirement system organization, and they support me on it. So I want to continue. And I used to be president of the teachers union.
Right. Yeah. So actually, a person who's not a teacher right now, this doesn't make anything to them. But those who are active, teachers and retirees, this makes a big difference to them, right? Especially retirees.
Exactly.
And so this is why they should be really important, because it affects them directly.
Right. And see, we're at the heartbeat of this whole process. Sure. We know exactly how much money's coming in. Our actuaries have taken a look, and they say that by 2033, if they don't do something to cap that money that the board pays to us every year at 14%, we're going to have some difficulties. Now, we're not talking about folding up or anything like that, but we want to get a solid retirement. And when the board decided in 18 through the legislation to cut the amount of money that they give us, then that was not a good thing. Okay.
Is there a standard amount that a retiree gets, or does that depend on the rule of 80 also?
Well, the amount that you get when you retire is based on your 3 highest years of service, average, the highest salary paid years of service, and that's what's used to compute the amount of money you get. Of course, the more money you make, the higher amount that you have, but that's basically how it goes. So like a veteran of 30, 40 years in the district, they'll take the highest 3 salaries that you made during that whole period, and then they use that as to compute exactly how much you get. And the first 3 years you retire, the money that you receive in your retirement, whatever that calculation ends up being, that comes out of what you put in. Then after those 3 years, let's say you live to be 100, then the rest of those years, the money comes out of our pension fund to pay you.
Wow. So you get some of your money back, and the rest of the money is
you still
money
get the
that's
same
accrued.
amount.
Yeah.
But after the first 3 years, you pay the first 3 years. Let's say you get $7,000 a year. First 3 years, that's what your computation said. So that's what you get. Then after that 3 years, you still get $7,000 a month, but the money comes directly from the fund. In other words, we've exhausted the amount of money you have, and so now you just get the money that you're supposed to get from the fund, and that's where the amount of money that the school system pays impacts on the amount of money. Because, like I said, we have 12,500 folks, of which 4,200 are retirees. And basically, the retirees, that pension is very important.
Right. On the ballot, you're known as Louis Clinton Cross III?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what they would vote for when the ballot comes in the mail.
Right.
Okay. We're talking to Louis Clinton Cross III right here at the New Life Evangelistic Center, where Reverend Larry Rice has been helping folks for more than 50 years, over 51 years, and going on 52 years now that he's been trying to help those in need and helping those in need and putting his life on the line for those in need. I'm Bernie Hayes, and we'll be right back with Louis Cross after this.
A lot of storms have been moving through the area recently. A lot of people have been having their electricity knocked out. What about a standby generator made with solar power? You can charge your batteries quickly if you've got a 170-watt panel. And they're being offered in New Bloomfield for as little as 40 cents a watt on Labor Day. That's just on Labor Day. And multiply that out, 170-watt panel, $68. And they'll show you how to make the solar cart. And they'll talk to you about, where you can get the battery, the inverter, the controller. It's a simple project. And you can be there, and be one of the first, because it's going to be only as long as the panels last, starting at 10 a.m. It'll be concluding at 2 p.m., but don't wait till later. But come on out, tour the facility out there, pick up the panels, and it's going to be a great day of family fellowship. And this is all on Labor Day, September the 4th, so bring the whole family out. You're going to learn, you're going to get a great bargain, all awaiting you. For further information, call us at 1-800-228-5284, or go www.newlifeevangelisticcenter.org.
Our subject today, Maggie Lena Walker. At the turn of the century, Maggie Lena Walker was one of the foremost female business leaders in the United States. She gained national prominence when she became the first woman to own a bank in the United States, and her entrepreneurial skills transformed black business practices while also inspiring other women to enter the field. She broke race and gender barriers as the first woman to establish and serve as president of a U.S. bank. Magdalena Mitchell, a daughter of a former slave, went to public schools in Richmond, Virginia, became a teacher, and established a newspaper before founding the St. Luke Penny Savings Bank in 1903. She later served as board chairman of the bank when merged with the other two Richmond banks. The resulting entity in 2009 was recognized as the nation's oldest continually African-American operated bank. On December 15, 1934, Walker died from complications due to diabetes, and her house in Richmond, Virginia has since become designated as a National Historic Site by the National Park Service. Maggie Lena Walker.
It takes many partners to operate New Life Evangelistic Center. We're a large ministry operating and serving so many people all throughout Missouri. And so we appreciate so much Bernie Hayes and his many years of dedicated service to people who are experiencing homelessness all throughout Missouri. But we need people like you to partner with Bernie Hayes and with New Life Evangelistic Center to make a real impact in the lives of people who are hurting now. So I want to thank everyone who is partnering with New Life Evangelistic Center. I want to challenge you to get involved today for the glory of God and the good of others in our community. Thank you so much. And God bless those who are making a big impact on the lives of hurting people.
Welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes. My guest is Louis Clinton Cross III, Dr. Cross, and he's the chairman of the St. Louis Public Retirement System. Dr. Cross, how will people recognize the ballots when they're mailed to them?
Well, the letterhead on that envelope should say St. Louis Public School Retirement System of the City of St. Louis. And
but don't you send out a retirement letter once a month, don't you?
We send out a retirement letter once a month, that's right.
So how will they recognize the ballot from?
They're hiring an accounting firm, and that's what they do. They handle it separate from the retirement system.
Okay.
And so they are supposed to make sure that people can recognize.
It looks different.
It looks a little different.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Should look a little different.
Now, how will they cast the ballot?
Well, you open it up and you mark. You pick one of the 4 people. I think it's 4, and you mark it and you put it back in the envelope, and it's a prepaid envelope, and you mail it.
Pretty simple.
That's it.
That's
And
great.
then they count on the 6th of September, and I think the last day to get them in is like the 28th of August.
Yeah, but right now, when they get it, they should go on and vote immediately.
I would,
right?
yeah. You get it, and then because it's only retirees, and our retirees are active.
Yeah.
They do a lot of things, and they travel, and all of those things, and so I would hope and ask that they go on and take care of it right away and get it in and vote for Lewis Cross, hopefully.
And they're there, and you're there to make sure that their retirement is right.
Always.
What's this you're wearing on your lapel, sir?
This is a Omega Psi-Phi pen and Omega Psi-Phi flower. You probably, you've heard of Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player in the world, and
Yes, I have.
Shaquille O'Neal,
Yes, sir. I've heard that.
Roy Wilkins. And,
Yes.
Yes, some of those people. I understand you are in a fraternity as well, Bernie.
Yes, I am. I'm a Kappa Alpha Psi, sir.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
you
sir.
knew that. you know it very well.
We tease all the time, don't
Yes, we do. And what about your socks? What kind of socks?
we?
are you
Well,
wearing?
I have some golf
Well,
golf course socks.
they can't see them. Because
No, I
it's
can't
gonna-
see those, but
Yeah.
you looking good with your socks as well. You know, we wear crazy socks and we try to compete with each other.
We
on socks.
outdo each other. And Lewis Cross is also a member of the National Black Radio Hall of Fame Board of Directors and also the Wolf Jazz Institute Board of Directors at Harris Stowe State University. And he's a very, very personal friend of mine. And my regards to you, Lewis, for coming out, you and your wife, Gail.
Thank you so much, Bernie.
And,
Thank you, and thank you for the time.
And you've always been a supporter, and I really appreciate it. Now, once again, how can they vote for you? How can they vote for you?
When it comes, the ballot will come in the mail. 4,200 ballots will come in the mail, and you open that ballot, make one selection, put it back in a sealed envelope, and it's free postage, and drop it in the mail.
And the name on the ballot should be?
It should be St. Louis Public
Lewis-
School.
but
for me,
for-
it'll be Lewis Glenn Cross III.
Okay.
And I am running for reelection.
Okay.
And the other 3 people that are running, I think.
Now, in about a minute, can you tell me why you want to be reelected?
I want to be reelected because I still have some things I want to do to get our retirement system back where it should be, financially and secure. And like I said, we took a blow in 18 when the board decided to pay less money into our retirement. From 29 million, we're down 3%. And so we want to stop that at 14. But I, as president of the Teachers Union, I had no strikes. We had increment, salary movement and increments. And that was the only time in the history of St. Louis public school system that a union had that. And I impact and make changes that are positive for the teachers and the workers.
Okay.
And that's what I plan to continue to do, and that's why I need the vote.
On the ballot, we look for Lewis E. Cross III.
That's right.
For president.
Yes.
We thank you so much, Mr. Cross.
Bernie, thank you so much
Always
for
a
your
pleasure.
time.
Thank you. And thank you for viewing us too, and thank you for supporting in LEC TV channel 24.2. We're here 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri, 63114. I'm Bernie Hayes. Have a great day. Continue to support channel 24.2. Have a good day.